Welcome back to Rider Town Radio! It's another exciting episode after Thanksgiving, and if you're a U.S. citizen, hope you enjoyed it! Mine was pretty damn boring.
I was too busy chasing a snake.
Yes, he went off to the Amazon again, and...
You really, really want that snake.
Well, I mean, this time the dude with the weird teeth wasn't chasing me, so that was a plus.
Yes, Mr. Weird Mouth.
That's what you get.
Yeah, Mr. Hates child actors.
And what about you, Biff? How was yours?
Pretty good. Not much to say.
Okay then, awesome!
Great!
So for today's exciting episode, we are talking about Ghost Episode 7, Dino Charge 18, and introducing the Retro Corner with Faiz Episode 1. Hooray!
Yay!
Yay! No screw-ups.
Yeah, had to say something.
They'll watch the blooper reel, they'll understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you could just cut this part out.
I actually might. Anyway.
Cut this out and put this at the very beginning of the blooper reel.
Let's not get sidetracked, please. Anyway.
So Ghost?
Well, before we start the show, actually, I'm going to do a quick bit of housekeeping, because we got recognition last week! Holy crap!
Yay!
Those of you who listened to last week's episode, we gave a shout-out to Bolt Matrix, and I sent him a link to the episode, and he actually listened to it and said we were doing awesome, so yay for that!
Yay!
And also, well, I'm going to say well-known. I'm not sure how well-known he is, but either way. Toku reviewer Easy Rider actually gave us a shout-out on the Ranger Recap, which was also cool, so yay!
Easy, if you're listening, we all really like your videos.
Well, that would be me and you. I'm not sure if Noble's
seen
any.
Yeah, Noble, you haven't seen. I would like to restate that. Me, Crunch and I like your videos. Noble needs to watch some of them.
And as you can tell, he is so starstruck he can't speak properly.
Yep.
We're going to make all the jokes of us flubbing our words, because that's how we roll here.
Yeah, that's just going to be a thing with us.
Yep. We're three idiots who can't control our tongues, and we're trying to do a podcast. What the hell is wrong with us?
That is a question I've asked myself for a very long time.
Do you actually want the list, or do you want to go on with the episode?
Let's do the episode.
Yeah.
So, on to Ghost. So, Ghost this week. They skipped time again. Why?
It's gone so fast I've just ignored it anymore.
Yeah, it's up to like 30 now, and last time was like 45.
Yeah.
That 90-day thing that they advertised really meant jack crap.
Yeah, pretty much.
And apparently the old creep, who we now have a name for, Sinoji, he knows Taku's dad and Spectre, apparently.
And has an awesome, purse bag thing.
Yes. Go ahead.
Sorry, I would just like to get in with my problem with this episode. For the past, this is episode 7, so the past 6 episodes, basically, we've been saying that they haven't really been explaining anything. And in this episode, they finally explain things, but they do the exact opposite thing of what they were doing before. Instead of explaining nothing, they're telling us everything.
I know, it's exposition dump episode.
Yeah, we basically now know Makoto's entire backstory, his entire motivation, everything. We know most of the secrets behind the creepy old man's guy. I forgot his name, even though you just said it. Yes, Sinoji. I'll remember it eventually.
But yeah, apparently Sinoji and Taku's dad were working on, what was it?
Just an experiment.
Yeah, some kind of
experiment that involved the monolith.
Yep.
And then on top of that, Taku and Makoto knew each other as kids, but apparently now they don't recognize each other for some odd reason.
What has been 10 years, so.
Too true.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. One of them went to hell and back.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
The other one just died. So.
Yeah, apparently Makoto and his sister, which is the one in the icon, which that explains the pink blushing on it every time the thing frickin' lights up.
Yep.
Although, didn't things say it was supposed to be his brother? Or...
I think
that's
what the initial...
It was supposed to be a younger sibling.
Yeah, I could have...
Go on.
Yeah, I could have sworn it said brother somewhere, but there might have just been a mistranslation or something.
I
think it was more or less everyone was going to assume it was going to be his brother or something like that.
Yeah, because the way she kept saying Oni-chan and stuff is like, that sounds way too girly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And her name is Kamen, apparently.
Yep.
Which, oh yeah, this is the episode where we get all the names. Because even
Yeah.
Aaron's name was finally dropped. Alan,
Yeah.
Aaron, however the fuck you want to say
Alan.
it.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Alan.
Yeah, well, the overtime subs have it as Aaron, so
Yeah.
that's the
That's what I
whole.
was talking about last week, guys. Faiz.
But yeah, that's the whole freaking thing with Japan and the L's and R's.
Yeah. Like you said, overtime had it as Aaron. I watched TV Nihon and they had Alan.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I'm pretty sure they had that split with Terra Gordon or Goldon and
Yeah.
Kyoryuger. One said one thing, one said the other.
It's pretty much just up to the translators and
Pretty much, yeah.
how they want to interpret it. The same with like all the icon jingles.
So let's
Yeah.
see what else happened in this episode. Oh yeah, the old guy threw out some more gadgets.
Yep.
Yeah.
We got the
Just-
spider lantern, which pretty much negates the magical leaf blower.
Yeah, I know. I was like, and that whole thing is completely useless now.
It explains why the prop looks so cheap. They're only going to use it for like 3 episodes.
Yeah, and also we got the back clock again.
Yep. Which does just, what you expect a bat thing to do. And shoots like sound waves or whatever. Pretty
Yeah.
much standard at this point.
Yep.
Let's see. What was the whole plot of the episode? Was mind controlled enemy or people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Group of
people-
mind control people.
Yes, the monster was a giant bee that basically
Yeah.
mind controlled people. She's a queen bee.
Yeah, but she had almost like a cowboy theme to her almost.
Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it has
Hmm.
something to do with the icon that came out today or this week. Whatever.
Yeah, but now I'm trying to think of what kind of pun they could use that with.
I have absolutely no idea. The only thing I knew about that monster was the voice sounded familiar, but I forgot to look up who it was. Oh well.
Because the only thing I can think of like a cowboy themed famous
A
female
cowbee.
is like Annie Oakley.
I just
As
thought
the
of
only one
one.
that comes to mind.
Cowboy Bebop.
Ha!
Dun, 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 dun.
No, this is not an anime podcast. Anyway,
It could be.
and speaking of the icon in question, it was Billy the Kid, and hey, what a shock! The item was a frickin' hat.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to be a gun.
Yeah, well, I don't think you're gonna get away with that in Japan.
Yeah, gun laws in Japan are incredibly strict.
Aren't they
I'm
worse
really
than they are here
disappointed
in
that when the
America?
guy got the hat, he didn't just yell "Yeehaw" really loud.
That would have been
I-
funny.
Also, something interesting is that Sonoji, is that it?
Yeah, Sinoji.
Yeah.
Creepy
Sonoji.
old guy.
He has the ability to turn the ghost parkas into icons because he has I thought that was cool. Like he has,
He has like a
He-
prototype Ghost Driver or something.
yeah, it doesn't have the
Cloth.
cover on it.
Yeah.
The bed sheet cover on it. So that looks cool. I was wondering if they were actually going to do something with that. I have dubbed it the ghost bag.
Which
Who
also,
knows? Maybe that's what Necronom's belt's gonna look like. Like I know he's not gonna use the belt, but maybe that's what it's gonna
Maybe.
look like.
maybe we'll see. Oh yeah, I do like how he apparently can do the eye symbol, and then it's
Yeah.
summoned.
Yeah, that's weird. I thought
Which
only
makes-
people with ghost drivers could do that.
Well, he technically does have a ghost driver.
Well,
It's just in his bag.
Yeah.
I mean, wearing it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, Takeru wasn't always wearing the belt when he was doing the eye symbol.
But he's dead.
Actually, I think he was.
Oh, yeah.
First time he did it with
Uh,
Musashi, he was Henshin. Same with Newton or Edison, Robin.
And every time he tried to do it before he did, he would he'd get interrupted into a fight or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much all of them.
I
were
retract my
with Henshin.
statement.
The only one that we don't know about is Newton, but that's because that's one's a mess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of the belt, we got to see Takeru use the Gangan Saber while untransformed.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I
Oh,
always
yeah.
like it when riders use their weapons out of suit.
I always thought it was cooler, mostly when they do it like blaster form. But yeah, sword the fights are pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and speaking of, since we were just mentioning the Newton icon and the whole drive thing, Akari has little ghost and drive magnets.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
they're
like,
the magnets for if you pre-order the movie war tickets.
Yeah,
gee, they're really pushing that one thing, aren't they?
yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's like when you went to see Surprise Future in theaters, you got I think their driver licenses.
Because everyone wants that for their wallet.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind having one. Like, I want chases.
But yeah,
So yeah, I'm not even gonna. You'd think I'd be freaking out about oh my god drives and ghosts, but I've moved beyond it at this point. I've just accepted it at this point.
yes. The fight sequence for this episode was interesting.
Yeah.
It's a swarm of bees.
My god.
What bees? Not the bees.
And how do you counteract bees? With guns.
Yeah, I love that so much. Okay, Tucker, you're being surrounded by a swarm of bees. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna transform into a form with two guns and shoot each bee individually.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like Luna Trigger where you have homing bullets. It's just no. His plan is to shoot each of the hundreds of bees individually.
Well, Billy the Kid's just that good.
I know, but still, I think if you had
Well,
I
he
mean,
doesn't have his retcon kill everything icon anymore. Because all he needed to do was just go Newton, Thunder Gun, murder them all in like one lightning bolt.
he has Newton.
No, he doesn't.
You're
No,
talking
he
about
doesn't, 'cause
Edison.
Alan
You're talking about
did.
Edison.
Or Edison, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but with Newton, he could just attract all of them and then just kill them in one blow.
Yeah.
Gravity.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of the other white scientist in the show.
Wow.
We also got to see the fight at Musashi versus Nobunaga.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys finally got that. So everyone
Yep.
wanted that. There you go.
Yeah.
That
Which
was
was
For
actually
a whole like 2 seconds.
That was a cool fight.
yeah.
We got to see him do Spectre do a Nobunaga rider kick, so that was also neat.
Yeah, it's like, oh, awesome! We get to see him do a fight against each other, and it's already over. And
Yeah.
he didn't even use Musashi to end it. He went back to Ghost. Why?
Mm.
You should have poked him with the swords, dude. Poked him with the swords.
Yeah, that would have done something.
Yeah, I noticed that he's been there was a good span of 3 or 4 episodes where he didn't use Musashi at all, and now he's using Musashi every single fight.
Probably just trying to push sales for that sword gun thing.
Yeah, maybe. Also,
Well-
he used Naginata mode in Musashi, which was neat, even
Oh,
though
yeah.
he didn't get to land it
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
that's true. He did use
'cause-
that.
because bees.
Bees.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have Benkei to use the hammer to swat him.
That still looks stupid and makes no sense.
It's like a half hammer.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if it wrapped around the other side, then I'd like it, but it doesn't. Speaking of, I guess we got magazine scans for next month's episodes, including the debut of Benkei Tamashi and Boost.
Which I gotta say, Boost looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Boost looks pretty cool, and also this ties into this episode. We see, I think it was Alan. It might have been Alan. I can't exactly remember talking about this experiment. Oh yeah, it was Alan because he was talking about Makoto giving him the Edison icon for the thing they're working on.
And then he just gave it back to him.
Yeah, and it cuts to what they're working on, and you see it. It's this kind of mass, but it also looks vaguely humanoid. Which leads me to believe that there is something in the magazine scans, which I guess spoilers. Next month, we are going to be introduced to a Ganma general who has the ability to not only form change, but switch between a human and a Ganma form. So he's basically going to be like the anti-ghost. If you've seen if any of our viewers have seen Kuga, it's like what was it, the Go Grongi, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
Kuga.
for any of our viewers who've seen Kuga, it's basically I believe it was the Go Grongi.
So wait, you're saying that they're using icons to experiment on this thing. This thing is a dark mass. This dark mass can have a human form, but it can also change into, you could call them ghost forms, and it can form change.
I guess you could almost say,
There's
Yes,
something very Necromy going on with this.
it's not Necrom, at least not. He could very well be Necrom, but for now, I think his name's like Janvel or something along those lines.
Well, that's a stupid name.
I know
Yeah,
that's
he might end up being Necrom because his monster form does look vaguely like it could be a rider. Like he might turn into Necrom if he becomes good or something.
Because I know Necrom appears in the Drive Ghost, or the Ghost Drive movie.
Does he?
Supposedly.
he's
probably-
probably the end credit scene
Yeah, like
cameo.
they usually have the end credits scene with the.
I
right,
think
yeah.
he's gonna do like a mock in the Gaim Wizard movie, or the
Yeah.
the Gaim Drive movie. Jesus.
Yeah, that's what they usually show up at like the very end, either like during the credits or just the
Yeah,
end.
where they're just like walking around like.
Yeah, they're just kind of
"You're
standing
just
there,
looks-
like, "Oh, look at me, buy my toys."
Well, Mock's the only one that's
Underbeard
done
looks
that
fabulous.
because
No, they've been in. I'm pretty sure other writers have done that.
no, I don't think so. Because I think with let me think here. Decade and Double, I think Axel was at the end of the episode or the movie. I think it was like in the end credit sequence, and then
Yeah, I think
Birth was just like right in the middle of
Earth
the
was
damn.
just there. He was Nobunaga. Huh?
Yeah, because obviously they didn't have Date in the show yet, so the
Yeah.
actual user was hidden.
It's actually
Let's see.
well, he was technically Nobunaga.
And then in Ephemerate in Megamax, Meteor was at the very end of it in like the end
Yeah.
credit sequence.
Yeah,
I don't remember if Beast did a cameo in that
yeah. I
in
can't.
the
I
Ultimatum
don't.
or not.
I've never seen Ultimatum, so I wouldn't know.
Ultimatum's one I try to block out of my head. Let's just say they pull something at the end that was not very nice.
Yeah.
And then I don't think anyone did anything for the Gaim Wizard one because all the writers were already there,
Yeah,
pretty much.
unless I'm forgetting. Nah, yeah, I don't think they did.
Like at the most, maybe if they did anything,
Well,
maybe
didn't like 15 appear for like a little bit?
No,
Like
that was
little
the
special.
Gang Tokucher thing.
Oh,
like
right.
if there was like any teaser from the Gaim thing, would have been like maybe the Energy Riders, but I don't
Yeah,
remember if they did that or
they
not.
might have been. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, I don't remember if they did that or not.
Yeah,
And then Mock like showed up just like walking around the drive pit during the middle of the movie.
yeah.
Yeah, because
And
that's
you see him like
not.
riding away on his bike at the end.
Yeah, at the very end, he just drives off or rides off, whatever.
Yep.
You gotta think though, because of how we know Mock from the show. You gotta think, what's he doing? He's just sitting there like, maybe a roid mood will come around and I'll beat it up.
My guess is maybe he just arrived and he's just like checking the place
Yeah.
out.
But
Yeah,
he doesn't need
like-
to be henching for that.
but you have to hide his identity for the audience.
Pretty much, that's the
Okay,
whole point.
Peter Parker.
Well, considering the way he was at
Yamashiro. I'm sorry, we're talking about Japan.
well, considering how he was at the beginning of his tenure, it kind of fits.
Yeah. I guess also since we've been kind of talking about the movie wars, supposedly Boost is going to make its like early debut in the movie war.
Like Formula did in the
Yeah.
EP special.
Yeah. And like Fang Joker did, like Taja Dor did.
Of course, Taja Door's one doesn't make any sense. In
Yeah.
the other one.
That movie doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't matter. Taja Dor is Bay.
I'm
Jeez.
It's the only good
Yeah.
combo.
yeah, but
Well, it's
After-
the most awesome combo. We'll just
Yeah.
say that. The only
I
good
wonder-
one, that's debatable.
Edgy is still out there wondering why Tato Ba is a combo. All the others make sense. They're all full color combos. Why is Tato Ba a combo?
Because the words just go together perfectly, or nicely.
There was I'm not sure if it was like actually in the show or not, but there's like this little like screen cap thing where
yeah, it
Dr.
was
Maki like walks in on him. He's like, okay.
that was in I think one of the Net movies. The
Yeah,
Net
and
movies
then-
love to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and then like Dr. Maki's in there like watching him as he's doing that, and then he turns around and he's starting to shake Dr. Maki, but now it's a puppet or like it's a mannequin, and it's like, whoa, what? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
must be.
Ghost and stuff.
So Ghost,
Spooky.
so yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to be introduced to a new kind of like anti-writer sort of thing,
Oh
can
yeah,
change
Machine
forms.
Chaser.
basically.
I must have missed that when I was watching it. But I don't
Yeah, like
remember that
he
scene.
got flat. It was like on screen for like 2 seconds, but
Blink and you
it
miss it.
yeah,
Like
but
my
it looked
attention span
vaguely
there for
humanoid,
2 minutes,
so it leads me to
2 seconds.
believe that it was John Vell or whatever his name is.
Well, that should be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah,
And the episode ended with the bee monster turning into a bee dozer, and we got the return of the Captain Ghost Iguana Striker thingy.
yep.
But then they cut away right before the fight actually started.
Because yeah, you got to save on that CGI budget.
And it's
Well, I
also
don't know. They have to progress it into the next episode since there's no icon next episode.
True.
then this
They gotta
actually
do
gives us
something.
our first two-parter.
Yeah, and the next episode is titled "Another Monolith Awakens" or something along those lines.
Oh,
So
great! So there's more than one of those things.
yeah,
Joy.
so
Well,
plot
there's probably
is
going to be
happening.
there's probably at least 3 monoliths. One for Ghost, one for Spectre, and probably one for Necrom.
This is kind of feeding back into that picture thing you were talking about a couple episodes ago, Biff.
Yeah, that could be it. Yep.
And the only other thing I had in my notes worth talking about was the rifle mode for the clock and the gun was pretty cool.
Yeah, I do like how, in a roundabout way, the clock is related to Billy the Kid because the whole classic Western thing, duel at high noon, the clock striking noon, in a very roundabout way that sort of makes sense.
Speaking of that, we didn't even really talk about the hoodie itself. What do you guys think of
Yeah,
the design?
it's okay. I like it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
I actually kind of like the sleeves.
I
I
could not.
like it in show. I hate the Ghost change figure for it. It's horrible.
Well, yeah, you're talking about the discount line. They don't
Yeah,
exactly
but all
do.
the other ones look moderately okay. He's the only one that looks trashy because of his long sleeves. Because they're not thin lines like Spectre or Ore where they just fold up. They're a full sleeve, but because they need the bend, the entire area of basically where the elbow is just not there.
Hmm.
It's
there's
like that in
a
the suit,
little,
actually.
yeah, and there's like a little hinge on the side for the bend on the shoulder.
There is actually a gap in the elbow on the suit, though, on the actual parka in the show.
So he's basically wearing chaps.
Chaps on his arms. Why not?
That, and I really wish he didn't have a hoodie and it was just his helmet had the hat.
Does he even have a hoodie? I only saw the hat.
Yeah,
It's the hat's connected.
the
hoodie's
hat is
connected
on
to
the hoodie.
hat.
Or I guess if you want to get technical, the hoodie is like shaped like a hat. It has like a hat growth coming out of it.
It has a
Uh,
hat tuma.
oh gosh, let's not
God
go
damn
into
it,
that
let's-
again.
Uh,
Uh, the other thing on that suit I couldn't really tell what it was this symbol on the face.
It's a gun going off.
basically, you're looking at a gun like down the barrel, and you see the barrel, and you can see like
The
the
chamber where the bullets
yeah, the chamber
are.
where the bullets go, and then there's kind of
And
like
then the
this.
sides where the eyes are like muzzle flash.
Yeah, there's
Ah,
kind of like a cartoony bang effect coming off of it.
I'll have to go back and look at that close up. It was
Yeah.
that was once again another one where
Just
this...
look at my Twitter profile picture. You can see it.
But yeah, this was once again another one where I was looking at it, I couldn't really tell what it was, just like with Beethoven last week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when I first saw Edison, it took me like 2 days to figure out it was a light bulb.
Yeah, but at least the logo on it is big and bright. This is dark on dark, and it's hard to see sometimes.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Beethoven though. Beethoven's is actually pretty hard to see.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Beethoven is dark gray on black.
Yeah,
Yeah, but at
I-
least all of them make something. It's not like, Tutankhamun's where it's like, what are you?
Yeah, Tutankhamun's is very confusing.
yeah. Supposed to be two sides, but doesn't really
It
look
doesn't
like
look
it to me.
like it.
Maybe it's supposed to be a cobra, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it.
Yeah, that's what we all kind of thought as well.
But even then, it doesn't really look like that either.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Like I said, it would have made more sense if it was like a giant, like, Ankh. Not the hand.
Just a hand for a face,
That would have been funny.
giving the middle finger.
Well, if O's was for adults, I figured he'd do that.
you
Hey,
just
edgy! Fuck you!
you would just fly around forever, just sticking his middle finger up.
I mean, if I could, I would.
I mean, if I could, like, launch my arm off and have it do its own thing, hell yeah. I'd have it fly around, tap people on their shoulders, and then, like, trip them. I'd be a horrible person if I could do that.
And that is why you don't have detachable limbs.
No, I have the ability to make weapons fly into my hands. Because that's less dangerous, I guess. Sword vent. I'm just going to hold my hand in front of you. Hold, 1 second, let me just push this down. Sword vent. Wham! Right in the back of the head. There we go. Literally, that's all you gotta do to make yourself an easy way to knock people out without actually hitting them. Just slide in your vent card, and then just extend your hand in front of them.
It's like that scene from, oh god, what was it, Iron Man 3? Where the armor's coming.
Oh yeah, he's trying to call for it.
Right now!
And it finally shows up.
Yeah. Or like earlier when he's testing it out and like the one piece hits him and everything falls apart.
Yep.
But yes. So, anyone else got anything else to talk about this episode, or are we done?
I hate the weird ends on the hat. The weird, like, rope-like ends on the sides of the hat are weird. But other than that, I like it more than I thought I would. I just hate the damn toy until the figure art comes out.
Yep, which will probably be an exclusive.
If the figure art even comes out.
We already know they're releasing at least up to Newton, and the show is only a few episodes in, so I'm assuming by the end we'll probably...
Do we know they're doing Newton?
Yeah, they're doing all of them. They're doing Ore, Spectre, and at least the first 4 icon forms.
Well,
didn't they show him at the?
Yeah, they showed him at Tamashii Nations.
Yeah, that.
We didn't see Newton there. We saw Edison, Musashi, and Robin.
No, we saw Newton. I'm pretty sure.
No, we didn't. We saw Spectre. We never saw Newton because everyone's thinking that Newton's going to be the premium bandit of the series.
I could have sworn we saw Newton.
Since the only way you could get his icon is if you bought the surprise future set.
Maybe they're just doing in like sets or like for showing.
Like they did with Double
or something. I don't know.
Way back when.
It's like, all right, here's what we're displaying for this show, and then next show they'll bring out like a whole different batch.
I will say I like that like icon Christmas tree thing they had. I want one of those. That, and I think I found out what one of the things the icons are designed after.
What?
You remember the game 20Q, the little like portable thing?
No, that's not coming to mind.
Okay, so it's about a little bit bigger than the base of a Lockseed. And it has a screen on the front and buttons on the sides.
So basically, one of the old electronic handhelds from the 90s.
Yeah, it looks like when I first, because I found one the other day in my closet, I was like, holy crap, I forgot these exist. But when I first saw it, I was like, holy, when did I get an icon? Oh, okay. Because it's got like the button, it has like little buttons on the sides, like on the icons.
Oh yeah, I just remembered. It was confirmed a while back that Ghost would be getting the EQ Damashi in the DVD special. And it is now...
Spectre gets the math Damashi.
Yeah, it's now been confirmed that Spectre will also get the Pythagoras Damashi in that same special.
And here we have our edutainment special.
Yeah,
Kamen Rider Math.
Which makes me wonder, which is kind of it's kind of interesting because if I remember correctly, when people hacked the Ghost Driver, Pythagoras produced the Ghost standby. Unless I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure it did. It just produced the normal Batsurimina standby noise.
No.
I'm pretty sure all of the icons do except for Tutankhamun, Nobunaga, and Houdini.
And Spectre. And probably the Necrom icons.
No, they don't. They just do the Batsurimina thing.
Which probably means
I figured they weren't going to do anything.
Yeah. It probably means that his device, because he's not using the Ghost Driver as a belt, he'll probably have like his own standby that's in that device, because we know he's getting like the wrist changer thing.
Which, if I remember the picture, looked ugly and bulky as shit.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an eyedropper, because eyeballs. Yeah,
I did see. I think it was a scan in one of the whatevers, but I saw what looked like an image of his icon, like the Necrom icon, and it looks like the Ganma eyes.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where it's got like almost like the claws around it.
That's actually for Janvel, the guy I was talking about earlier.
Oh.
That's actually his icon, which and it's green. Well, the logo is green, which again leads me to believe he'll be Necrom.
Because in the image I saw, they were loading that into I'm going to call it the Necrom changer. And it was like, oh, so that's what it looks like. That looks awesome compared to the other icons.
Yeah, like I believe Janvel has his forms are like the like the Raphael icon.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, those are his forms. Like
Teenage
Raphael.
Mutant Ninja Gunmas, Teenage
Yeah,
Mutant
I think
Gunmas.
he has. I think
Raphael and Leonardo.
he has Raphael. I think Michelangelo and Donatello. I believe,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I might be forgetting one.
Well,
I will say that Ganma belt would actually look kind of nice on, like the Ganma's belt would probably look really nice on like one of the ghost suits.
Yeah,
Because it would give it like a very Showa Rider-esque thing where it's just like the plate and nothing fancy.
yeah.
that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah.
The only bad thing is I don't think we're ever going to get any more Mook figure arts.
Maybe. I
Probably
don't know.
not.
Probably
Because I
not.
mean, like I know Gaim didn't really have Monsters of the Week or anything, but they had the Invest and there wasn't any like monster arts of that. And the only real like monster arts we've gotten in the last while have been Heart and Brain and Pinky. For all you kids from the 90s. What are we gonna do tonight, Heart? Same thing we do every night, Brain. Try to kill the humans.
No, they weren't trying to kill them. They were just trying to rule them.
Yeah.
They made
What's the
that
point?
very specific
Yeah,
distinction.
Hart made that very specific. He's like, "What's the point? What's the
Yes,
point of
then-
trying to assert your dominance if all the humans are dead?"
Which basically puts a giant plot hole in every single AI evil movie ever.
Yeah.
Like, this
I
AI is
think
trying to do everything.
Guys, I figured it out. I found out where Spectre got Tutankhamen from. He got it from Hart. Because Hart wanted to enslave humanity, just like Tutankhamen did.
Tutankhamen, no, actually,
Am I wrong?
That's a stretch.
He wasn't an
That is a
Egyptian
very
pharaoh.
big
That was kind
stretch.
of he's an Egyptian pharaoh. That's kind of their shtick.
Also, isn't
He was
Hart,
Pharaoh.
dead?
Yeah, he was,
He
and also,
sacrificed himself to make the icon. We know that can happen. See, all these things you're saying to disregard this are just helping. He's dead. Well, yeah, that's how some people make icons.
so should we move on to Dino Charge?
Yeah,
Sure.
I think this train has completely derailed.
Yep.
I don't know where we're going with
It
this
derailed into the water.
anymore. Funny you say water.
Segways.
That's a bad segue, but okay, let's go.
It works, considering this episode of Dino Charge, they were pretty much playing with the Loch Ness Monster idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megazord's is secretly a monster, because I don't think they've ever done that before.
No, but it does bring up the question of, considering giant robot dinosaurs keep appearing like every few years under the control of a ranger team, how did no one figure out that that's what that was?
Not only that, but giant monsters happen to appear almost every year, and no one's like, oh, there's the new ones. Oh, there's the new ones. Oh, there's the new ones.
It's
Oh,
a-
there's the new ones. Oh, there's some of the old ones.
It's a giant monster attack. It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday in Central City.
Don't worry, they're fighting in the abandoned warehouse district. Because apparently
Oh,
cities
no,
are
a
like
plastic chair
99%
might fall
abandoned
over.
warehouses.
But yeah, that was pretty much the plot of the episode, was the Rangers trying to find the Plesiozord, which had apparently disguised itself as a Loch Ness Monster stand-in. I forgot what they actually called it.
That's what people always assumed the Loch Ness Monster was a plesiosaurus, so...
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
makes sense.
I mean, he's not... the Megazord, or Zord's not getting his facts wrong. I mean, he's doing what his kind was presumed to do.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised he didn't eat anyone.
Yeah, but this still also begs the question of where the fuck the Zords even came from in the first place.
Yep.
I mean, at least with the first two robot dinosaur seasons, it made sense. They explained it.
Yeah,
So
they
Yeah.
were created.
Yeah. Where did these things come from?
Outer space!
I always just kind of assumed it was a similar explanation to what was in Kyoryuger.
I don't even remember what they said in that.
I think it was basically like they were upgraded into robotic forms to fight Daboth or something like that.
Oh,
If I
because of
remember
their
correctly.
bravery, they like evolved or something like that.
Something like that. It's been a few years since I watched Kyoryuger.
If that was the case, then why are they finding energems and fossils? Which you could presume were the original ones that he gave them to.
Well, because goddamn Keeper doesn't know how to keep meteors out of the sky.
It's a plot hole.
No, a plot hole is how that doctor guy knew the Power Rangers were who they were. That's the plot hole.
How's that a plot hole? The Power Rangers are famous.
Yes, but no, not like that. Like, he knew who they were, not what they were.
Well, let's see.
Oh,
Riley.
Shelby, Tyler, Coda, Riley.
Well, let's see. Riley flat out said that the thing
Sir
they're looking
Lightning.
for is not a dinosaur, it's a Zord. And then he said that only Power Rangers use Zords, and thus he put the pieces together. He's a scientist. He's not an idiot. Well, okay, I take that back.
It's Power
He's a-
Rangers. Mostly adults are idiots in Power Rangers, so...
Well- Okay, in fairness, he's not a total idiot. I mean, he is an archaeologist, but it doesn't take that many brain cells to put two and two together.
Yes, he's an archaeologist, not a paleontologist. Why are you chasing dinosaurs, you fool? Get in your element.
I didn't actually think about that. He's in the wrong field.
He's not in a field, he's in the water.
Boo.
He was in a field when they first met him,
Well,
digging for bones.
he was in a hole when they first met him. The plot hole.
Uh,
Ba-dum-bum.
oh, here we go. Another pun episode.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, that was pretty much our human antagonist. Was a scientist guy trying to make himself rich by being famous
By
or
finding
something.
a dinosaur on his own, because that's a smart idea. This guy must not have watched Jurassic World. You don't go one-on-one with a dinosaur. You will lose.
Unless you're Chris Pratt, in which case you control a team of raptors.
Which I am not going to say anything about because that will spoil the movie.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen it. I've just based off all the damn pictures and all the trailers. That thing is a frickin' meme, for crying out loud.
It's also been used with Dino Charge figure art, or Kyoryuger figure arts.
I would so believe that. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that picture. It was.
There's another one where he's where it's Kyoryu Red doing it to to
Yeah.
like all the other four Kyoryugers.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's another one where it's Kyoryu Red doing it to Gabutira, the Dino Thunder T-Rex, and the Mighty Morphin T-Rex.
That's beautiful.
You know, now that I think about it, we don't even know if those two have like Japanese names.
Uh,
I don't.
I know.
I can't remember.
I know the. God damn it! Hold on one
I
second.
could look it up.
yeah,
Well, no, I
actually
have a
quite-
box with the Zeal Ranger animal names right next to me.
Pausing for research.
Oh no!
They were just Guardian Beast. They were just Guardian Beast, etc. Like Guardian Beast Tyrannosaurus, Guardian Beast Zhu Mammoth,
Yeah, the Zeal Mammoth.
Triceratops, Saber Tiger, and Pterodon.
And yeah, Tyrannosaurus.
So hey, they actually got Pterodon right.
Well, someone had to.
Yep.
Yep.
So they find the monster, or the. God damn it.
They find the
Megazord.
Zord. And oh yeah, they were being hounded again by the meteor monster because they had to bring that back for the sake
Yep.
of the Sentai footage.
Yep.
Although I do love how they played with it, with Riley saying, Sledge keeps sending monsters we beat already. He must be out of ideas. I'm like,
Yeah.
you are just breaking that wall. We're knocking on it pretty hard.
Chipping away piece by piece.
There's also another funny line with Coda and Ivan talking about the Earth being flat.
Go.
I like Ivan's like calling Dakota because Dakota runs the wrong way. It's like Dakota, north is this way. It's like backwards here or something. It's like why is it like that? I don't know. I'm still trying to get over the fact that the Earth isn't flat. Why did they change that or something like that? It was funny.
uh,
It's like you remember how old these characters are supposed to be, and so you're just having
Yeah.
fun with it.
well, I mean, if you think about it, Coda would just be like, I don't know. I didn't even know it was flat.
uh,
It's round. I didn't know that either.
What is round? I'm a caveman. I shouldn't have a grasp on most things,
I'm a caveman.
such
I
as
should know
human
what graphite
speech.
is.
yeah, I feel like this was actually a Shelby episode, but she's the one dealing with the archaeologist's
That's-
asshat,
Yeah, that's
And-
because this was the Shelby episode.
and like she's the big fan of him, but then it turns out he's not really that much of a great of a guy.
He's like
just to
Christian
fix him.
Bale. Oh, good for you.
It pretty much plays into that old trope of never meet your heroes. They may not
Yep.
be what you think they are.
Unless they're Power Rangers.
Well, even then,
I get. Well, yeah, that's true.
JDF, and I'll leave it there.
Well, that's just because he's been too many Power Rangers. God damn it.
Now that guy has an ego the size of the damn planet.
You mean the planet is his ego?
Sure, why not? Nope, JDF.
I thought the planet was round. I thought it was flat. No, it's shaped like Jason David Frank.
Oh my gosh. But anyway.
Please send all your hate mail to.
Oh yes, we got the introduction of the Plesiozord and its Megazord mode, which this
Which
is
is
one.
where we saw that screenshot of all of them and their Dino stealing the Plesio Megazord
Which
from
I have to,
Dex.
which I do have to say, this is one thing I'm glad for that they have the original footage for, because it's not just red in the cockpit.
Yeah.
You can actually put all of them in the cockpit and it will still work. Whereas
Yeah.
in Kyoryuger, because they had an issue with Red being the focus ranger,
Yeah,
he got to
'cause
drive the thing by himself.
Yeah, Daigo got like 5 Zords. Well, more like 3 or 4.
Well, he had Gabutira, he had Plesio.
Yeah, Boompaki.
Bragigas.
No, not really.
He got to be front and center
Technically, I
in
mean-
Bragigas when it was like,
A few times, but
yeah.
Plus, you know, he got Black
I think
Gabutira.
Kyoryu Silver got to control be the center in Bragigas all of like once.
oh yeah, the one episode where they all split up.
Yeah.
Which I would love to. I hope they use that episode.
I
for
do
Dino
hope they
Charge.
use that footage. 'Cause I feel like, well, probably in Supercharge, but I really feel like that'd be cool. That
You
would
know what I
require-
just thought about? If they pull a Kyoryuger in Dino Charge, do you think that dinosaur head that they slide down into eventually will become part of like a Zord, kind of like how in Kyoryuger the secret base was inside Bragigas?
That would be interesting, I would admit.
like the museum just crumbles.
Oh god.
Bragigas rises out.
Gee, Ganta.
Okay. I don't think it would go that far, but
Yeah.
that would be kind of interesting if that was the case.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do the whole having the base inside of Bragigas thing.
Yeah.
It would be nice, but
It wouldn't really make any sense.
I mean, look at how we got Ankidon. Jesus. I'm gonna go shoot this thing off his shoulder because it didn't scrape off when he was digging into the earth.
Well, it's better than how they did in Kyoryuger,
Oh yeah,
if you can actually remember that one.
I remember that. That was
Yeah, but I
an
mean,
interesting
that
plot line.
Turn yourself into paper, slide into a battery, and then use another battery to lure the monster out.
Yep.
well, that
New
was when we
things.
first got the Cupid battery, so it made sense.
Yeah, but that battery's still stupid. It was
Stupid Cupid.
It was stupid in Kyoryuger. It was still stupid here, just like the gas charger.
You mean comedy relief charger?
Yeah.
So I always did like Plezuon / the Plezio Charge Megazord,
Yeah.
the design like Plezuo and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the only thing that throws me off is the damn cannon on his right arm.
Yeah, I always thought it looked cool.
It's
Yeah, it
comically
looks
huge.
cool, but it makes him look very asymmetrical.
Yeah.
Considering the fact he has an extra arm on his back, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least they give you the option, so that's neat.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, would you rather have your hand or a bazooka for a hand?
I kind of no. Here's what I kind of wish they would have done: is give him both arms, and then the neck of the Plazio mode becomes like a handheld cannon.
Maybe.
So that way, when it's like he's doing the thing where it's
You mean
cocking
like
it.
how they're supposed? You mean like how the suit actually does the final attack in Curator? How it like leans over the arm and cocks the battery and then shoots?
Yeah, it's like you could have like a handle pops out of the bottom of it when it's disconnected, and then it's just holding it like it's a big gun.
It wouldn't surprise me if they built it to actually have a handle in it already, as like where the wheel would be as a handle.
Yeah, they could easily do that, but no, they didn't. They
Well,
went
I
with
mean, in
that's-
America they're probably doing it. I mean, the toy's already been released.
I haven't actually seen any of the toy reviews for that thing yet, so I
Yeah,
have no
neither have
idea.
I.
But yeah, knowing Bandai and their weird modifications, it wouldn't surprise me.
The only thing I saw from an image of it that bugs me is his neck's not clear.
That's stupid.
So you can't, so you can't actually see the battery inside of its neck anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's really dumb.
That's the whole
Like,
point
would
of
that
it
really
being
have been
clear.
that hard to do?
It's
Well,
clear.
it's Bandai. They gotta make everything cheap. And we love you, Bandai of Japan.
I mean, it's clear plastic. It can't be that much more expensive.
You'd think colored plastic would be more expensive.
Yeah.
Well, no, with colored plastic, all they gotta do is just dump the tub in.
Unless it's like some sort of weird safety reason. I don't know.
I don't know either. That's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarro.
But anyway,
Does anyone else have anything to say about the episode?
the only other weird spot I thought was when they were searching for the Plesio Zord, and you see like two of them flying around. They were in the full Megazord with the Terror on its back instead of just using the Terror Zord by itself.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like that's a bit much, don't you think?
Because sell toys.
I guess it's still weird.
No, I know why they did that. Because for like Black Friday and on, they now have the Dino Charge Please or Patera Don 2-pack for Megazords.
Yeah, I think I saw something on Twitter about someone posting something about that.
Yeah, because they did it with the last season where they put where they put all the big Megazords together. So let's do it again.
I guess.
You know what I just thought about that's gonna be weird?
What?
We're getting the Tobaspino Ranger, so we're probably gonna get Tobaspino.
Yeah.
At some point.
How are they
yeah.
gonna sell that though?
They could just sell it by itself. They've done stuff like that before.
Well, yeah, but like the only other dinosaur of that body scale is the Dino Charge Megazord with its chunk limbs. So it's
Yeah,
gonna be
they
interesting
did-
to see how they do that.
They did something like that before. In Megaforce, like normal Megaforce, they sold that like purple repaint of the dragon that was in like the GhostSager movie, and I think maybe one episode of Megaforce or something.
So they actually
by
had
its-
to fit that in there somehow.
Yeah, somehow they sold that pretty much by itself
Oh, okay.
without any of the limbs. So I'm sure they could do it with Tobaspino.
Okay.
And if nothing else, if they really wanted, they could just package Ankidon and Bunpaki with it, because I'm pretty sure those were the ones they used together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also just realized I said their Japanese names. Oh well, whatever.
Oh well.
We're
I'm
talking-
just so used to using their real names because I mean it's kind of just boring to say Ankylosaurus.
Well, yeah, it's better
and
than
stuff.
the Ankylozord, because Ankydon is so much, like, rolls off the tongue better than Ankylozord.
Ankyda. Plus, you gotta love the way Ramirez screams it all the time.
Yep.
Ramirez is best curator.
Yes.
He's a frickin' meme on Ranger Recap for crying out loud.
I remember when everyone was before Dino Charge started. Everyone was really hoping he'd be the Aqua Ranger.
That would be cool.
Yeah, everyone was really like he even got interviewed at one point, and he was like, "Yeah, I would love to be the Aqua Ranger."
Maybe that's why they've been hiding him for so long. They're
Maybe.
just
I
building
mean,
the
that'd be
suspense.
amazing.
Because there is a male and female Aqua Ranger body.
Yeah, so maybe we will. I would love to see him be Like he could be the first person to be a Senshi and a Ranger.
They've never even announced who was playing it either,
Yeah.
too, as far as I
So
remember.
who knows? It could still happen. I'd love to see it happen.
Didn't the casting for like
Ramirez
Ivan
as
and
Torin. There we go.
Yeah, I think the only people that have the only like Silver hasn't been announced either. I don't think.
yeah, didn't the castings for Philip and Ivan come out like months before they actually showed up in the show?
Yeah.
Yep. And then their toys came out and said who they were too.
Whereas, yeah, Cyan's been completely under wraps. Cyan, Aqua, what the fuck ever.
Yeah, because that's part of the
I refuse. I usually
supercharged
just.
toys.
I never understood why they call it Aqua. What's wrong with saying Cyan?
I don't know.
What's wrong with saying gray?
Well, I
We
don't
went over
like,
that.
Yeah, well, I went over that. At least graphite makes sense.
We went over that.
And
Let's not tap that
Yeah.
wall
So
again.
cyan makes sense in a dinosaur show?
Makes more sense than Aqua because that's actually what the color is. It's cyan.
Exactly. And the color is gray, not graphite. It's not
Gray
the
Ranger
inside of a lead
sounds
pencil.
boring.
Tomatoes,
Yes, and so
tomatoes.
does Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, Green Ranger, Black Ranger, Gold
Gray
Ranger,
Ranger.
Pink Ranger.
I just shake.
I would love it if he just if he was named Gray Ranger. I just imagine him saying his name like during the roll call really unenthusiastically, like Gray Ranger,
Power Ranger Red, Power Ranger Blue,
Power Ranger Gray.
Power Rangers.
The problem is his
Does Faiz
battery.
have to sleep the entire time?
His batteries aren't even gray though. They're freaking brown.
Yeah, I
They're
still
like
don't get why.
bronze.
I still don't understand why they did that in the CG.
Because they're graphite. Okay, so is that all we have for Dino Charge? Can we go into bloody murder already?
Yep. Let's move on to Faiz in our debut of the Retro Corner.
Good God, that show is violent as hell.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you just wait, sir. Just wait.
Man, if this is able to be shown to kids, I don't want to see what Kamen Rider Shin is. Jesus.
Ugh.
Boy, this is gonna be so much fun seeing your reactions.
It's just.
I'm all for a bloody good time, but good lord,
This is mostly.
you're seeing like chest. Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to wait for a little longer for that to say that. So, we're talking about episode 1 of Kamen Rider Faiz.
Yes, which opens on scientists pouring liquid on rocks.
Yep.
On rocks shaped like belts.
Yep.
I still, to this day, don't understand how that works because the belts have like no organics in them whatsoever. They're completely mechanical.
I am the Guyver.
God damn it.
This line comes to mind. Of course, don't you know anything about science?
I guess I could try and technobabble my way out of this, but
There is
whatever.
no way to technobabble your way out of
RoboCop,
it.
there you go.
Yep.
Well, whatever. And then the scientists get interrupted by a monster. And my note for that was, well, someone isn't happy with their liquid pouring antics.
Yep.
Yeah, and by the end of that scene, the kill count has already been to 6, and that's like 5 minutes into the show. Because there were the 3 guards outside and then the 3 scientists inside.
Yes, this was at, and we should also mention this was at a facility run by Smart Brain. Interesting company name.
Yep.
Can I also say I find it weird that the, like, when it picked up the belt and, like, knocked off the thing, it's like, oh, here's the Faiz belt.
Yeah. It's like, ooh,
And there's,
the rock.
like, 2 other
Yep.
belts in there that I'm going to assume it also stole.
Most likely, yeah.
Most likely.
Because I've never watched Faiz, I don't know any of the writers except for Faiz and Orga.
Oh boy.
Or
This is gonna be interesting.
Or
Yes.
or Mega, as I like to call it.
The entertainment value justifies us doing this in the first place.
I'm gonna throw something at you over the internet.
Like we said
Might
before,
be Akito. Be careful.
like we said, folks, that joke is going to get run into the dirt.
I mean, no. There's no reason to act so extreme. I mean, I don't really think Crunch's jokes justified that response.
So you gotta
Can
say
we
it
just
right.
complete the episode already? I'm tired of standing by.
Uh,
Ha!
also, if you're gonna use a
You're
justify joke, you have to say it right. Justifies. You just say it properly, it doesn't work. Moving on.
Did I not say? I thought I said justifies.
You
You
said
said
justify.
justify.
Oh, damn it!
You failed at your joke. I saw what you were doing, but you failed.
Let's just live life.
Uh, the one sad thing about the first episode is they didn't give us the theme song, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But we'll save discussion of that for next episode, I guess. Or
Why we mention it so much?
Yep.
well, I don't know if you guys want to actually go on and just talk about it anyway.
Well, yeah,
we
we
can
can
save
save
it
it.
for next week
We
if
can
you
save it for
want.
next episode. I'll just say that it's one of my favorite themes in the entire franchise.
I think it's the first track on my Toku playlist. It's on my iPod.
Yeah, it's up there with the Kiva theme, the Drive theme, and another show that I've never heard of before's theme. That's pretty nice. It's called Ryuki.
That's Ryuki.
What's a Ryuki?
I don't know, but it sounds like a cool show.
Uh,
I don't know.
so after nonsense in the science lab, we're cut to a couple doing coupley things.
Yep.
And we got our first named character, Yuji.
Yuji.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
So we should probably mention the fact that the actor who plays Yuji unfortunately passed away earlier this year,
Yes.
which makes the scenes with him in the hospital thoroughly like shirt collar tugging.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward to say the least, but
Yeah.
dude was
Oh
a damn
yeah,
good
that's
actor.
right. That's really depressing now because I totally forgot about that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like yang yang yang.
It's just nagging at the back of your head. Yeah, he's actually dead.
Yeah, he's legitimately dead in real life, so that's just very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Great going, Japan.
Well, they couldn't have known. This was made like 12 years ago.
Yeah, and to be fair, this is us choosing to watch it now, so
Yeah.
it's timing
Well,
on
they
our
had the
part.
Kabuto sectors. They could have went to the future.
Uh,
But my one complaint is that car crash that he was in was not nearly bad enough to put him in a coma for 2 years.
much less kill his parents the way
Yeah, that
the
was
parents
just
did.
people have walked away from worse car crashes with that with just a few bruises.
Yeah.
Click it or ticket. There you go. That's how.
The one thing I had to wonder is he's been in the hospital for 2 years. Who was paying the bill?
No idea.
Or do they not do that in Japan?
Pretty sure hospital bills would still be a thing.
Probably something that they're like that. Well, no, his parents died in the crash. So
Yeah, they died in the crash, and they were. Yeah, I don't know who was paying for that.
Especially considering, when he comes back, he goes
Yeah,
to see
all
his
this-
uncle, and his uncle is basically a total dickbag, so it clearly wasn't him.
and his girlfriend is
We
in a very bad relationship.
Yeah, and thus begins the long list of things that Kibiyuji should not have to deal with and does not deserve.
Yep, Kiba gets shit on in this show.
Yeah. And so does Takumi. Just
Yeah.
you wait, Noble. Just you wait.
Also,
Just
I do like
you
how
Faiz. That was
That
a
made
bad
no
one, I
sense.
admit.
That wasn't even a joke.
that made no sense. Also, apparently, when Kiba came back to life, he got super hearing because he was hearing things from
Yeah.
how far away?
Like at least a few blocks.
Yeah, because he goes to see his uncle. His uncle's like, "Yeah, we had this. So
Yeah,
to sell your house. Sell the
Your parents were in debt, so they took the house as credit, even though I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, and so he leaves, and then he just hears from outside him talking. He's like, basically saying it's like they completely lied to
They
him.
lied
and
to him and just sold the house because
Sold the house, sold the company.
wait,
for
wait,
money.
wait. This is the guy who becomes the horse guy, right?
yes,
Okay, that doesn't make sense.
What doesn't make
Horses
sense?
don't have super hearing. You know what do? Wolves. Dogs. The moderately main character, I guess. From what I've heard.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Let's move on.
uh.
Kid show. Continue.
Oh yeah. My I had my note for when Kiba came back to life, which was basically zombie. It's alive.
Yeah.
And then we cut to some random chick on a
Yeah,
bike.
getting like totally stalked by these like three perverted dudes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, baby. And it's like,
And
dude,
she looks completely unhappy to be there, yet she's letting them hang around.
she looks like half their age.
That too.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, she's probably like twice my age now, and that's still no.
One
You
thing
don't do that.
I always thought was interesting about her is you look at her and she's got like super chubby cheeks and stuff, and then you look at her later on and she's like doesn't quite look the same when she shows up again in Kiba.
No
Well,
flex.
well, it was a 5-year interim, so
Too true.
yeah.
She was exercising.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Okay, so lots of bloody murder, people getting stabbed in their heart,
Yes. While this chick is
people
hanging
eating
around
sausage,
who ate a sausage?
or something like that when they were sitting by the campfire.
I don't remember that. It was
And
food or
it's
something.
been a week, dude. It's been a week. She ate a fish. She had some soup.
Yes, I had a note for that. The exciting scene of eating.
And then
Dude sees a backpack, thinks it's his for some reason because they just don't have airwalk bags in Japan, apparently.
I guess not.
yeah, so this girl, Mari, ends up at this diner where we meet our protagonist, who we learn next episode is named Takumi Inui.
Yes, I would like to point out for Faiz episode 1, none of the characters are named except for Yuji and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
They're the only two characters that have names in this episode. No one
Yeah.
else gets a name drop at all. So you're just wondering,
Yeah.
like, who the hell are you people?
So yeah,
Great. Now for that. Now I just want you to have a pic. Now I just want a Photoshop picture of Faiz's head on Patrick in that scene where there's all the eyes under his house, and he's like, "Who are you people?"
Are you talking about Patrick from SpongeBob?
Yes.
I am not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I hate that show.
Well, you should be happy it's over.
Did they really end it finally?
They canceled it finally, so now it's just reruns after reruns after reruns after reruns.
It still
after
exists. That's bad enough. Anyway, moving back on.
So yeah, Mari then leaves the diner, and Takumi looks out the window to see that she has a bag that looks identical to his.
Well, no, you just see him looking for it. He doesn't really say anything about it until later on, where he runs into them again.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes him look like a stalker.
Which he then proceeds to stalk her for like at least a day without saying anything, which which begins the very long list of misunderstandings in the show.
To quote a certain reviewer, the irony of Faiz, everyone uses cell phones but are shit at communicating.
Yep.
I think I know that guy.
Yeah, so he doesn't even say anything. He just stalks her for like over 24 hours.
Yeah,
and then
a
shows
long
up.
while.
Yeah. This whole situation could have just been avoided if he stopped her and was like, "Hey, I think you stole my bag. Would you mind letting me look in it?" Just to make sure it's not mine.
We wouldn't get the but then she'd be dead and there'd be no Faiz.
True,
like
but
if
it would make
Taka
logical sense. I understand if he did, there wouldn't be a show, but it would still make more sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's just like if Edgy put the Taka metal in the vending machine and bought a can of Taka. The Taka
can
brand.
Of Taka.
It's better than a can of taco. That's a double joke. So, they're at this campsite.
Yes, and they're starting to get picked off by a monster.
Yep.
Who's apparently half fish.
Yeah, very slasher movie style.
The Orphanot can just kind of do this thing where they can transform their lower bodies into like a more animalistic form. Kind of just a thing they can do.
Yep.
Yes,
which
indeed.
makes them cool.
Yep.
And they don't need to use the black and white filter on their phones when they take a selfie.
Like that's one thing I would like to say. I like pretty much all of the designs in Faiz, and that includes the monsters.
Yeah, the
They
monster designs are really cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
they somehow, despite them all being the same color, managed to make them all look very unique.
Yeah. I think it's probably because they have to make them all the same color, very similar. It forced them to be a lot more
Creative.
creative with the
Yeah.
individual designs, so they all stick out.
Lots
Yeah.
and lots of gray.
Yep.
Let's just put it that way. Lots and lots of gray.
Yep.
So basically, the three guys are getting picked off one by one.
Except it turns out that one of the guys is actually a monster, and the one
Yep.
doing all the picking off.
Yes, but before that, she runs into creepy I want my bag dude, and she's like, "You're the monster! It's him, random dude from the group that just walked back.
And then it
You
turns
have a
out,
funny looking face for a couple seconds. Oh my god, you're the monster."
yeah, I do like that effect when they start changing to their
Yeah.
orphanot form, where it's just like this weird overlay.
Yeah, because I've watched Kiva before this, it reminds me of the Fangires almost.
Yeah, I was about to say they probably took inspiration from that for the Fangire.
Yeah, and their things get all stained glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a cool effect. I like that.
Yeah. So, I forget the chick's name,
Mari.
because in my world, names aren't important.
I mean, because we kind of got a what I assume is a reference in Ghost.
All I need to know are what the 15 names are, that's it.
But yes, Mari pulls out.
There's a scene where she's trying to use the Faiz gear belt thing to tension, and it errors on her.
Yep, she can't use it.
Yep, and they have a very violent way of telling you no. They literally the belts will shoot themselves off of you.
Well, it's either that or they throw you backwards.
Yeah.
A little bit of both, probably.
The force feedback's too much; it just separates you from the belt.
Yeah. And
also,
then
there's that weird scene where she's like trying to put the belt on the dude, and it's like
That's a
and
bit
he's like,
handsy.
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I really like. I'm not sure if this was just the way it was shot, but it looked like they were being attacked by a flying fish monster, and she was just taking her sweet time putting in the input code and putting the phone in the belt for Takumi.
And,
Yeah.
Well, she didn't want to misdial, you know. She might have dialed 558. You know,
Which would have probably
Kamen
done
Rider
nothing.
Fate.
Yeah.
They probably would have done nothing, but
But then we get our first henchman into Takumi becomes Faiz.
yep, because the belt works for him.
Yeah, for
Yay,
reasons
Fairy belt.
that we totally won't know the answer. That totally won't be explained later at all. No, not at all.
He just wanted his bag and found a new one.
So yeah, we unfortunately don't get to see his awesome rider kick until next episode. So
But
instead
he
he just
did kick.
he just kind of does a standard
He
side
did
kick,
basically
which
a
is just
ghost-
enough apparently.
He did a ghost kick. Oh, you're running at me? Let me just lift my foot up.
Yeah,
My note for that was, and with one kick, the monster fell apart. Must have been a dick kick. That'll knock down anyone.
pretty much.
But the other problem with this is that they keep intercutting between Takumi's first fight and Yuji transforming into the horse orphanot,
Yeah.
because he goes to confront the shitty boyfriend that his girlfriend has now, which I believe is also the guy that he ran into when he went to talk to his uncle. I think they're the same guy.
Yeah, I believe so.
And so he basically confronts him in the rain, and we get to see him transform and kick the shit out of that guy, including stabbing him in the heart.
Yes, this is one of the things I wanted to mention. I'm normally not one for mass genocide in TV shows, but if the Orphanax would kill every single human in Japan, I would be totally okay with it because of how awesome that scene of seeing the heart beating in the X-ray of the chest and then the thing going into the heart and then it disappearing is amazing.
Get used to seeing that.
Yeah, that is in a lot of
will.
episodes. Which that also brings up something interesting, though, is that a lot of the ones, if I remember correctly, is the Orphanok will shove something down someone's throat and then
Yeah.
suddenly they'll end up in their heart. It's like, that's gotta be painful.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
it probably could. Well,
it's like you
if anything, it's going down, but not going down the throat part of the throat, if you know what I mean. Going down, like, the breathing part of the throat.
Yeah, but then you have to like go through the lungs, and I don't want to
yeah,
think about
it's
that.
still like either no matter which way you go through, you're gonna still have to
Yeah,
puncture that
yeah,
tunnel just to get to
yeah.
the heart.
And
They say the easiest way to a girl's heart is chocolates. I think it's a sword.
Oh my gosh, did you really just go
God
there?
damn it. But my opinion, the creepiest thing about the Orphanaut killing a person is that the person temporarily comes back to life before disintegrating.
Yeah, it's just like I'm dead. Heart's been stabbed, except he still stands up and walks around. It's like you have
Yeah.
no heart, dude.
Yeah, they walk around and then just turn into dust, which is what happened to the dude in the motorcycle helmet.
Yep. Because he walks up with his helmet still on, then it pulls it up, and suddenly you just see him disintegrate.
Yeah, which was a really well done effect.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who thinks it's kind of funny how the effects in this don't look much worse than they do in Ghost?
If anything, you look a little better.
I would say that's just a sign that they're really well, like, that's a
Yeah,
sign
they're
of
really.
really well done effects, is that no
Yeah,
matter how old they are, they will still look good.
yeah,
Well, I
which
mean, in
impresses.
Ghost, instead of CGIing the little, like, signs in front of the spider clock and there's that bat clock and spider lantern, they literally put signs in front of them.
Oh yeah, all it said was just
Yeah,
take this, use this,
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Might come in handy or something.
Which
Yeah.
is kind of. It's impressive that these effects look so good considering the show that came right before this was Ryuki, which
What?
almost got
What?
canceled.
What's Ryuki?
What? Oh, you've seen that show that I like that theme song from?
Oh my god.
Awesome.
But in all seriousness, the show that came before this was Ryuki, which I believe had some of the worst ratings in Rider history, to the
Yep.
point where it almost got canceled at one point.
Yeah.
So it impresses me that the effects look as good as they do.
I guessing all those cards and stuff must have actually sold pretty well.
Yeah,
Or they just decided to go gung ho with it and say, fuck it, why not?
yeah,
I will say I like Faiz Henshin where like all the red lines appear and then
yep,
like the suit forms. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was always one of the cooler effects of the
yeah,
show, was just the way the suits would form on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the episode.
yep. This is good first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of murdering. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would watch again.
Is-
Probably.
Well, we know what Noble's in for this show, or why Noble's watching it. He just wants to see
Yeah.
people die.
I
It was
got
a
a
bit-
one-track mind. I'm all about the stabby things and the shooty things.
Well, you'll get plenty of that with this. My gosh.
Yeah.
That's why I like Ghosts so much. They're already dead.
Ugh.
Ay, ay, ay.
So yeah, this was a good first episode. I've found that her early Heisei era shows tend to go a bit slow at the beginning. Like in my opinion, the first if you can get through the first 10, 15 episodes of Faiz, that's when it starts getting really good.
Yeah, definitely early Heisei has like that 10 episode window where.
Yeah, especially Blade.
Yeah, like I tried watching Agito and I just I'm
like-
watching it and I'm just like breaking out into laughter because it's like that's stop motion, and that's blatantly stop motion. That's horrible.
I don't think I ever even hit the 10 episode mark over with Blade
Yeah,
or Ryuki.
like I
What?
haven't seen all. I've seen about maybe a little over a third of Blade, but the first 10 episodes are just they're so. It's like just ask anyone who's watched Blade and they'll tell you if just the hardest part of the show is getting to the first 10 episodes.
Then skip them.
Well, you can't really because they set up a lot of the stuff, but I don't know.
I mean, if it's anything like Ghost, I'm so and so. I died on my birthday. Here's the entire plot of the last 20 episodes, even though we're only 8 episodes in.
No, they don't really do that.
Not
in
that
early Heisei.
bad.
Next, I'm waiting for next week on Kamen Rider Ghost. My name is Oliver Queen. After 5 years of being stranded on an island, I'm the largest man alive. I am Kamen Rider Ghost.
It's bad enough he has a Robin Hood form, which basically is the Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And he has a red form that's called Boost. flash, speed boost.
We haven't even seen it in action yet. We don't know if that fits or not.
I will say, have we heard the boost chime yet?
Yeah.
Does it just say boost like boost?
Yeah.
That sucks. They totally missed out on a great pun.
I knew where you were going before you even said it. As soon as you said great puns, like, oh
I
no.
cannot sigh enough.
You could, but then you'd run out of oxygen.
God damn it.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. If it did that, you would
Come
laugh
on.
hysterically.
So...
I don't know if I would laugh hysterically or just shake my head and sigh.
I think the subtitle for this episode should be Boost! Or Noble Likes Genocide.
I vote for Noble Likes Genocide.
I agree. That is the subtitle.
Yeah, that's the episode title. Noble loves genocide.
No, it's gonna be
game.
the name.
Noble Likes Genocide.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh god.
Oh man. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. We forgot to pick a topic, but considering how long this has been going, I think we can skip that for this week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, we don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I think this episode has been going for long enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've made enough horrible things. I mean, I've said I like genocide, which now I swear to God, people are going to say horrible things about me, but that's fine. I don't care. I'm not German.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'm not Starfish Hitler, okay?
Oh god.
Well, we know which one of us is the offensive one.
Offending all
Never
the
forget Starfish Hitler. Never forget.
But yes, thank you for... I think that's pretty much the show, so thank you for listening.
Suffering through this episode of Rider Down
Yes, thank you for listening. If you liked it, please leave us some comments or tweet at us. Our links are in the description.
If you have any rude comments, please send them to the Noble117 at Twitter. They will all be answered as soon as you need them answered.
Yes, indeed.
And any of the nice comments you can send to the other lovelies of the podcast.
Oh, this is such a mess. I can't even do the outro properly. Oh gosh. I don't even
it's better than when we tried doing the intro.
Oh yeah, stay tuned for the blooper reel for that.
Yeah.
Or if you already watched the blooper reel, I hope you had a good laugh.
But anyway, yes. Do all the things. Like us on Facebook. Tweet at us if you want to chat or whatever. We will gladly answer you.
Or yell at us for making genocide jokes.
Or if you want to yell at Noble and stuff.
I can't justify my reasoning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I haven't done this all episode. I might as well bust this one out. Dave! Certain people will get that joke. Others, nope. But anyway. Yeah, do all the things. Facebook, Twitters, and then Podomatic if you want to listen to us audio only, whatever. This episode needs to end. So, thank you all for watching, listening, whatever. See you guys next week for more chaos.
Episode complete.
Oyasumi.